Darky16 here, and in today's video, we are going through Snapshot Y19W41a, and yes, you will probably see some pretty weird glitching during the video. It's not related to this program, it's related to the hardware. My mouse, my trackpad is broken, and I really do not want to use the USB mouse when recording, because obviously, it'll sound annoying. Just watch many YouTube videos on Geometry Dash, and the one thing that's just going to bug you is the massive amount of clicking noises. Yeah, I think I have it right next to me. As you can hear right here. Something like this. It's really annoying. Like, it's really annoying. So, anyway, I decided to turn on tap to click. So, anyway, I decided to turn on tap to click on my laptop too, so I don't have to deal with that, and then I can just tap. And basically, soft tap here, and now I'm selecting Stark Oak Sapling. And I can just drop it right here. Light tap, and I managed to pick up a piece of diorite. And depending on how well you're hearing this or not, you may not be able to hear the taps. Hopefully it doesn't interfere, like I just accidentally tapped something while scrolling. Like, I can tap on this Hogwarts crest. And some of you can hear it, but generally, you're not supposed to hear it. So anyway, tap back. So anyway, yeah, back to the intro. Y19W41a is our snapshot for this week. And yes, I did make an announcement on my wall in Planet Minecraft, so consider checking the wall more often. It's where I post, like, announcements if there's, like, changes or anything. Sorry for the delay, I just have some issues. And two, I probably wasn't able to finish everything in time. But I was able to get more in as from Monday afternoon. And yes, if you read the wall, you're probably updated. No snapshot next week because of the National Merit Scholarship qualifying programs that's happening at my school, so note that it's not going to happen next week. Unless, of course, there's a critical bug. When Mojang releases a snapshot and there's like a critical bug, it will be titled as 41B because technically I'm not supposed to release a snapshot next week. So if you do see a snapshot next week, expect it to be titled 41B, 41C, D, or E, etc., depending on how many snapshots gets released between now and the end of next week. So anyway, let's talk about the changes now. We're going to start with the hub. That's probably the most important changes. That's where most of the changes happen. So we're going to start with the Hogwarts locations. New locations have been added, as well as locations from existing ones. Like the Sermon Hall is a new teleportation hub right there, and I can just copy and paste that location. It teleports you right there. Formerly, it was over in that back wall, just in the various other locations section, but then I decided to move it. We have the Chamber of Secrets. Basically, this one is a direct access, which means you don't have to walk through the Myrtle's Labyrinth, or should I say, Salazar Slytherin's Labyrinth, just to get to here. You can just take a direct access right over. And then we have the Quidditch pitch. It looks kind of new. Some of you may have seen this if you've been on Poetic Whispers map. Basically, that's a display, and it takes you straight to the Quidditch pitch. And then behind you, this is familiar. This actually has been over in the various other locations. It's now moved and sealed off. This is the hospital wing. It takes you to the same coordinates, but this time the facing's correct. So, several new locations have been added. There's 4 in this area. Now we're going to talk about the outside locations. So basically, the first thing you can kind of tell, I was able to redesign the interior so there's no longer any lighting on the ceiling like you've been seeing in the past few snapshots, but instead you'll see hidden lighting under carpets. Originally, I inspired this idea from Poetic Whisper, but apparently because the light rendering is different on Java than it is on Bedrock, I can't use cobblestone or else it'll just blind the light. So instead, I chose to use carpets. Sometimes I use white carpets, sometimes not at all. So basically, and while we're at it, we got 4 new locations added to the outside locations, and you can kind of tell there's a space. That works as intended. I will be adding something there later, but not now. Anyway, we got the first location, which some of you may have known if you've watched my snapshots in the previous semester, is Little Hangleton Graveyard, where it's basically, and I think I rendered it wrong. Alright, I'll probably patch that in another snapshot. Basically, it's the same old thing if you're familiar with it. And also, I have, in one of the snapshots, I've added a direct access point back to the hedge maze, so that's that. And then we finally have access to Godric's Hollow now from the default hub now. Yeah, and while we're at Godric's Hollow, I would like to highlight a few new blocks that I've just added. So yeah, Purple Slab, it still is Purple Slab for some reason. But it should be renamed to Solid Ice Slab or something. I'll figure that one out later. And yeah, all these issues that I'm mentioning are not going to be coming out in this snapshot, by the way. I've already had enough problems off screens, and I do not want to create any more. So anyway, we got Frozen Smooth Stone and Frozen Cobblestone. Keep in mind there is a translation error when viewing it using the French language, so just keep in mind. So apparently Apple Dictionary screwed up when I was trying to name the contents. So moving on, the next location is Shell Cottage, which I was able to add a direct access to that end. As you can see, you spawn right here. Basically, you can now directly access Shell Cottage using the default hub now. So, more locations are being added on. We'll hopefully add some more soon as we add more locations like the Crystal Cave and some other ones I can't remember when I need to add. And please note there will not be Fantastic Beast locations. Yeah, this is official. There will not be Fantastic Beast locations. Apparently, it already took too much time. And this is mainly going to be more focused on Wizarding Britain than it is on Wizarding United States, so just keep that in mind. So yeah, moving on, the Burrow has now been added to the outside location section of the default hub, and there's actually been several changes, and I'm about to highlight them right now. So here we got an extra coop. I'm planning on adding chickens in there, which will be spawned in a later snapshot. You can see here the chicken pen's just added. And yes, with the exterior walls, I was able to reframe everything, because apparently there was this really annoying oak log border surfacing around the perimeter, and it's just really annoying. Yeah, I'm glad that's patched. And now in here, you may be wondering, this little garage is empty. But nope, not anymore. Because this has been filled now. Although there are still some things missing, like the creeper head. Apparently the creeper texture is being used in another... The texture of the creeper entity is being used as the crystal ball, so I'm going to have to find something online to actually to actually get the creeper texture without having to deal with the crystal ball in there. So just a heads up, You probably noticed the difference already if you played in Poetic Whispers map. So anyway, that's that. So anyway, just one more time. Oh, and one more thing. And I'm not done yet here. But anyways. Darn it. Alright, so we're going up these stairs now. And yes, we're going to the very top. I was able to actually finish the interior, this snapshot, where it was previously empty. Not anymore. Because this room is now correctly made, copied block from block. And yes, I was able to fix the ceiling of that top part, where before it was like all chunky and whatnot. Until now, yeah, I still haven't figured out about this thing, the dark oak contrast. So yes, that's that. So, yeah, most of the changes will be routed from this point, so just a heads up. So basically, we will, the leaky cauldron has been changed a bit, and it's actually now fixed. Whereas before you are unable to access it from the hub, now you can. Basically, you can now access it. So now, next off, we got Grimo Place. We actually have a different style now, where it looks more like a 1x2 instead of a 2x2, like you've been seeing throughout. So yeah, that's that. Excuse me for 1 second. Sorry. So, now, there is a spoiler, so I will be showing this to you later. But for now, let's talk about London while we're at it. And whoops, I think I just took the wrong way. So, anyway, clicking on the Leaky Cauldron. And actually, before we actually walk in, let's talk about the London metro area. I was able to put some British flags only on this road, in that intersection right there. As you can see, none of our lampposts have the British flag yet. So anyway, and the exterior of Leaky Cauldron has actually changed a bit. Yeah, and a reminder, what you see in the photos on Planet Minecraft may not correspond to the actual download, so just be wary. And I'm specifically referring to textures. They will be changed at any time, without warning. So anyway, we had the same single piston door sequence. We've actually got 2 new buildings, and yes, if you think I have 3, you're wrong, because that building's not done yet. And the first one is the Magical Metagiri, or whatever it is. It's basically supposed to be a pet shop. I was able to look this all up on the Harry Potter Wiki. Basically, although there are no cats in it, wouldn't put wolves in there because the texture's already being used by Fang, the boarhound. Basically, this is what it looks like from the second floor. This is the first floor. Yeah, so we got one more building. And, oh my gosh! Are they dabbing? Alright, but anyway. This is the, darn it, forgot what it's called. It's the, Madame Malkin's Rose for All Occasions. And basically, as you can see, there are armor stands, and it actually has Ginny's texture on it. Yes, there's gradual stairs. There's nothing else behind this point. Wait, did I just accident? Yeah, this is the kind of thing I warned you about in the beginning of the video, by the way. What you just saw right there. I accidentally broke a block because I just mistapped. That's exactly what I'm referring to. Yes, I've added a bit of some decoration outside. Yeah, as soon as I can get my trackpad fixed, I can continue working on the snapshot, on the next snapshot. So, I need to get it into the IT for review, so... Anyway, and yeah, we're not teleporting back to the hub. Yes, the Lucino Cafe. We're going in. Going to the cafe just the normal way we go. Then, the kitchen area, it's now covered. I don't know if I did that for a previous snapshot or if I never did that at all, and this is the first snapshot to have that covered. But, now that we're done with this part of London, let's actually move on to a brand new location that was just added. That's added in the snapshot. You may have noticed outside of Grimmauld Place, if you take a turn here, you can find some tunnel, but never assume it's a dead end. There's actually a tripwire if you look closely. And it actually teleports you like about 500 blocks away. So you're in like the positives. So basically, this right here is Surrey, or should I say Little Whinging. Basically, it's just a long road. You might be expecting a curve, but nope, it's a four-way. And as you can see here, it says coming soon. Two ways are blocked. And it says coming soon, there's like Surrey Playground this way. And those will be the Hutton Rock, London Zoo, Granger's House, Spinner's End. But we don't know when that would be. So, now, back here, that's where the surprise really happens. So basically, I don't know if some of you have requested it over the summer, but here it is. Privet Drive. And just keep in mind, only number 4 is available. I'll probably be adding more soon. I just have to recreate the Privet Drive clones on another super flat world and then copy and paste them in using structure blocks. But anyway, here's Privet Drive. Finally here. And yes, good news is it can be accessed from both the classic and the default hub. And I'll probably show you that in a little bit. But first, we're gonna do a home tour. If you've read the Harry Potter series, then you're gonna if you watch the films especially, then you're gonna recognize this a bit. This right here is number 4 Privet Drive. And yes, right here we got the cupboard under the stairs. It looks kind of tiny, and it looks flippin' cramped in there, and like I can't even see it. And I have my Harry Potter skin on. Yeah, that's a default skin if you don't have a custom skin over it. Just imagine a bunch of Harry Potter clones running around in this world. It wouldn't be likely because I have a no public server policy. So, anyway, here's the living room. As you may notice, that's not supposed to be part of the Flu network, so because it's a Muggle home. So yes, this is a bug. Because yet again, I copied it exactly block to block, which means that with the fireplace, it's not supposed to work with the Flu networks, and I gotta figure out a way to actually change the texture so it actually renders off. So people wouldn't go disappearing in Muggle homes, because that would be a breach of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy. But, enough said. Here we have the kitchen. Right here. Yeah, and even with the textures on, it's going to look different. I'm going to slap the textures off and show you what it's like without them in a little bit. So, anyway, we got the backyard. As you can see, it's not finished, so just don't worry. The garage is not supposed to have anything in it, so just FYI. So anyway, now we're gonna go in here. We're gonna go up the stairs now. And there's 4 rooms. This room is a bathroom. Then this here is the Petunia and Vernon's bedroom. It's at this point it's probably only Vernon's room since Petunia died from a sickness, I believe, if I remember correctly. This here is, I believe, Dudley's room. I can tell because Wait, nope, it's Harry Potter's room, I think. Yeah, it is. Unless if that's the first room over, but I think it's Dudley's second bedroom. This is Dudley's first bedroom, so yeah, I was right. That's Dudley's second bedroom. Room on second floor. Anyway, here's Dudley's room. So anyway, now we're gonna go and, yeah, let's zoom out. And let's turn off the textures. No worries, I'll be turning them back on. And yeah, and you'll be, whoops. I just done it, something incorrect. You can't hit the escape key when managing textures, or else your changes will not be saved. Just a heads up. So, anyway, as soon as this loads, you might be able to see something familiar. You know, probably do the same for Diagon Alley. So yes, as you can see, this is, Pivot Drive, but I have the Java Edition textures, and yes, I do have a private texture pack that I'm going to be turning on. Yeah, hopefully, for viewing purposes, I'm going to want to turn Bedrock Aspects on. There will not be a download for that pack, by the way. Bedrock Aspects is not available to the public. It's merely for testing purposes. As long as we load those Bedrock textures, you should see something familiar. And yes, that is Privet Drive, right here. Yeah, we're going to look inside. Some discrepancies include that door. It's supposed to be Birch Door, but apparently Birch Door is already being used by another texture, so use Acacia instead. So anyway, there are now familiarities in here with the textures off. Like, this is not supposed to be Neverac, by the way, so that's probably going to be a future discrepancy. Then we got the kitchen, the exteriors, and whatnot. Yeah, we'll do a quick run through in the bedrooms, and then we'll test out Diagon Alley. So basically, yep, here's Dudley's second bedroom. Got Dudley's initial room. We got Vernon's bedroom. Petunia formerly slept here. And then, finally, we got the bathroom. Doing a quick run through. Now let's hit the leaky cauldron. And yes, there will be bugs without textures, so just please, it is encouraged that you use textures. But it's just for viewing purposes that I'm turning off the textures. So basically, you got the average single piston door. And yes, as you can see, it's familiar without the textures. But it'll be confusing because it's Java Edition. And as you can kind of tell, the lever armor seen, and you can actually see the dab more clearly. Anyway, our stuff is familiar, but that's not what we're talking here. So yeah, we're gonna turn the textures back on. Then we'll see something. As soon as we get that texture slapped on once again. So yes, more changes in this video, more than the previous snapshots. Except for 38A, of course. Yeah, as you can see, like I mentioned, coming soon. So basically, yes, I did add a couple more new features, which I'm going to go over really quickly. Alright, which is the closest? Yeah, I'll be entering the Hufflepuff common area for the sake of this. For the sake of demonstration, and what I'm about to be doing. So, anyway, the world language classrooms, which are 2 new classrooms that were added. Free, actually, but the third one's all the way on the other side of the castle. But anyway, In the Spanish and French classrooms, and by the way, this does not apply to Russian classrooms. There are 2 barrels that can be found right behind the teacher's lectern. They're both empty in the Spanish classroom, but in the French classroom, one of the barrels has 2 books in there. Yes, I'm just going to show you the titles. I'm not going to show you the lyrics for copyright reasons, so that's that. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think that wraps up the snapshot. So anyway, if I can backtrack to that command. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to get notifications on this update, on future updates on YouTube, and also don't forget to subscribe to the iCloud calendars, and also to subscribe to Planet Minecraft to receive wall posts. I don't know how this works, but I think that's how it goes. So anyway, these are Dork16. I'm signing out right now.